Well, just need to be further back. I'm not sure exactly. Ah, man. Okay. Technical difficulties aside, I am happy that you are all here. I know it's a Wednesday stream. So that means a couple of things. Work has been an absolute cluster today. I did not do my commute home, and I'm spending it in my camper again. So making the best of a already crappy day. I'm gonna try to write some poetry and decompress. Hey, Mally, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, but yeah, between work and then my phone not wanting to work and everything is not going the way that I would like it to go. So very much would like to just unwind, write some poetry, hang out. Probably do a little bit longer stream tonight. Just leave the camera on and see what happens. But how's your night going, Mally? Good to see you. Am I saying that? Yeah, okay. I keep wanting to say Maddie, but that's not correct. We have a couple big announcements as far as my stuff goes. I got the first batch of stickers ordered. Yeah, I hope it gets better over these last couple hours too. Today has done its best to be difficult. But that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it's going good for you. Had a lazy day. That's awesome. Perfect. Let's see. Well, do you have any prompts? Anything you'd like a poem written about? You are the first person in chat. I usually have a couple minutes to come up with one for my own, but I'm happy to take any you've got. I got a new pack of pens today. We're going to see how these Bic Glide pens work. They say they're very comfortable to write with, so I'll be the judge of that. Because this one's just about deceased. His final act was opening the pack for his replacement. Ugh, that was terrifying. Oh, I hate this. It rattles. It even rattles when it's clicked out. I don't like this at all. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. Hey, Cody, good to see you. Not much. Today's been kind of a boot kicker, so when you finally know when to let go. That is a good prompt. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this pen, these Bic Velocities. But yeah, not a lot's going on tonight, Cody. It's a Wednesday stream, so it'll be a little longer. I'm not doing anything else tonight, so I'm just going to leave the camera on and see how much writing we can do. When you know when to let go, when you finally know when to let go. Okay, that's the important part. When you finally know. That's really cool, Doc. Let's just get you here. That's okay. You go ahead and do that all you want. Bye. Thanks for the contribution. Hey, Trevor. It's going good. Today, well, it's going better now. Today has tried its very best to be a bad day, but it's overall gone well. Work was work. Things were frustrating. I'm no longer at work, and things are less frustrating, and I'm doing something that I enjoy. We're starting the first prompt of the stream. I have a prompt from Allie of when you finally know when to let go. And let's start this one. We'll call it 5 minutes straight up. But how's your night going, Trevor? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kelly Harris says, hey from Cleveland, Ohio. How are you doing, Kelly? Good to see you. I'll say hey to Kelly. I just did that. But if you're just here for a shout out, you've got what you wanted. I appreciate your contribution. I hear you. It poured all day, but the sun came out when I was walking to my car, so it's got a lot better. That's awesome. Yeah, there are big thunderclouds rolling in right now. Not Dustin. Cody wants a silly rhyming poem. I can do that one right after this one. Sunny all day. Well, okay. Yeah, it was sunny for most of the workday, and now that I have had the opposite weather of you, Trevor, as I got off work, the thunderclouds are just coming over the horizon. It's probably going to pour on me tonight, but which irritates me because I didn't get my shed roof all the way finished over the weekend, so it's I got like half of it shingled and then the rest is tar paper. Should be fine if it gets rained on a little bit, but I don't want it to like downpour. I'm not looking forward to that if everything gets soaked. Let's see. Working in rain gear is fun. Beyond Babylon. If you'd like to submit a poetry prompt, you can post it in chat and I'll add it to the list. I've got the one I'm working on now. I've got one more in front of you. What's in the can tonight? This is actually a Rockstar. It's a lemonade energy drink. So I was pretty wiped out after work, so I'm trying to be energized. I stopped at the gas station on the way to the camper and picked up a snack and a Rockstar. So. Yeah, I'd rather work in the rain than if it's 80 or 90 degrees, Trevor. Strawberry. Oh no. Uh-oh, what happened? Is your job stressful at the railroad? Yeah, it is a very safety sensitive position. So if I don't get to have bad days, I don't get to have off days. My job is to make sure that railroad crossings operate the way they're supposed to and that they're not malfunctioning. It's to make sure that all the lights indicate. It's to make sure the gates work. It's to make sure that people don't get hit by trains. That's literally why my job exists. So there are elements of it that are extremely stressful, yeah. Mostly with the troubleshooting and when things aren't working the way they're supposed to. But yeah, most days are smooth sailing, doing general inspections, but when things go bad, things have the potential to go very bad, and there's a lot of stress attached to that, because if something does happen, any legal action or anything, they don't go after the railroad, they go after me specifically. That's why my position exists. The railroad has assigned liability of those assets to me as an individual. So oh yeah, animals on the tracks don't really bother me. Like I've had some close calls. I've had run-ins with bear and moose. I've had a wolverine be running right by my truck. I actually have a video of that on no, I don't. I don't have that video. You didn't hear that. uh there's potential to see some really cool animals while you're out on the rails for sure. Yeah, these new pens are not it. These Bic Velocity pens are not it. I'll use it for tonight, but I'm gonna have to get a different pack. These are a waste. Absolute trash. I should do a tier rating of like pens and the different writing utensils that I use. I think that'd be kind of fun. Chat's a little dry today. Stream's just getting started. People are still showing up. There's always the influx of like 2 or 3 people that pop in from other streams when they end, and that's where the nonsense comments come from for sure. But the regulars will start showing up, and then it'll start picking up. It's not my normal streaming day, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit unorthodox. I'm glad you're doing that job. Someone that is not stressed would mean they didn't care. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's not a position that you are allowed to not care about. Um, they make sure very, very thoroughly that you are aware of the liability and what you're actually signing up for when you start the training and the technicality of the schooling for it. So at least they did for us. They made sure that we knew exactly what we were signing up for, and there's an opportunity to step out. There's an opportunity to step down and step into whatever position you came from without any hard feelings or anything. It's just some people don't want it. Some people aren't cut out for it, and it's not for everybody for sure. A tier rating would be cool, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I'd have to get a bunch of pens. I have a bunch actually. I could probably just do it with what's in my camper, but not tonight. I've got to finish this poem. I've already wasted 9 minutes. Ooh, I know I need to open my little window. It is warm. Hey, Ange. Good to see you. Good to see you. You making up for Monday? No, I'm gonna stream on the days I don't go home. I usually commute back to town on Wednesdays to get caught up on my admin and business things, like places that are closed during the weekends. Because I'm only home on the weekends aside from when I make the commute back. So I try to go back on Wednesdays and get caught up on things that I just can't do during the week because I'm not home. So if I'm not gonna be doing that on Wednesdays, I'm just gonna turn stream on because I don't have anything else to do in my camper, and I'd like to write. I'd like to decompress. But yeah, and I kind of like hanging out with all of you, just a little. Hey, Jill. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Speedy boy. Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Bro, now I get it. This is your work camper. I've always thought this camper was outside your house. No, 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 no. This camper is many hundreds of miles away from my house. Because I work away from home during the week usually. So I am. It's like 187 miles to my house from where I am right now. It's 158 back to town, and then another 20 something to get to where I'm at. To like another 20 once you hit city limits to get to where I'm at. So my neighbors, yeah, the other campers. I'm in a man camp. So my camper is up against a bull rail that runs along this side where we get power from, and then there's other campers like parked next to me. I can I don't know about filming outside of my camper. I'm not sure if there's any policy rules I would break by doing that. So I won't give a tour, but yeah, I'm in a man camp. During the week. Time 1930. Okay, well, I don't know if I did this one the justice that I think I could do if I was paying a little bit more attention to the poem and not so much to chat. Firehawk 96. Roses are red, violets are blue. I bet you like Mountain Dew. Hmm, I used to. I used to a lot, Firehawk, but not so much anymore. They have some summer flavors that aren't bad, but yeah, it's take it or leave it. I like their Baja lemonade that they came out with this summer. Like I like that stuff. I had no idea about your setup for your house and camper. I guess I never really learned it. Yeah. That's why my stream setup is so like crappy in camper. I just have my phone on a tripod sitting on my little table, and I had a little ring light set up for normally down here, and then I brought all of that stuff home with me when I was starting to move stuff out of the prompt book over to the laptop, and I left my backpack hanging on the coat hook when I left town on Tuesday. So it's that's why I have, this is actually my outdoor like exploration tripod. I bought this one to try to get more angles when I was trying to record some YouTube stuff. So go to Taco Bell and get a Baja Blast. It's a lot of work. If I can't get it at a gas station, I'm not usually going to go out of my way to get it. But my dad loves Mountain Dew, and I drank a lot of Mountain Dew growing up. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track. That's going to happen a lot tonight because I am energied up. But it's with the best intentions. This is when you finally know when to let go for Melly. And I wrote this one in 14 and a half minutes. Sometimes holding on hurts so bad, more than the fall of letting go. Time has a funny way of teaching with the sad, using darkness to help us grow. I've held on to the heavy, broken my fingers, and thrown my life off track, craving something that I wanted to save me. Slipping is the grip. Wait, this is holding me back. Released. I'll set the weight down. No, I'll heave it from this balcony, roll it down the mountain I've made of this mound, piled high of things I thought precious to me. Yeah. I actually like how that one came out in retrospect. I didn't think I would like it when I was writing it, but reading it out loud, I think gives it the oomph that I was missing in my head. Yeah, it's got an exclamation point next to the no on the paper. You did it perfectly. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Melly. Toast, I'm sorry, toast frog babies? Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I liked that part too, Trevor. Thank you. Cody wanted a silly rhyming poem, so I'm just going to write silly rhymes as a prompt, and I'm going to do something silly. That's what I've been instructed and requested, so that's what I will do. Let's start this one at 23, we'll call it 24, straight up. All right. It's good to change it up sometimes. Is it shoe shuffle or show shuffle? Love the hat. I appreciate you. Me too. It's my favorite one. Show shuffle. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I've never been a part of a poetry live. Are you writing? I am. Yeah, I have my notebook down here. Here, I can actually move my camera to show the notebook, just a little bit different perspective. So I take prompts from chat and I write short poems, usually in about 10 to 15 minutes, and do a little read back. The prompt I've got right now is just it's Cody wanted something that was silly and rhyming. So I've been writing this one. But the one we just did, I spent about 14 minutes on and then did a read back of it. So if you have a prompt that you'd like to throw into chat, Show Shuffle, I have a list here that I'm putting the prompts on. And as I finish them, I just work my way through the list and then do a read back. So, yeah, I guess if if you come in the middle, it's a little bit easy to be put off because I'm not talking or engaging. I'm just like looking down and writing. So sorry about that. Ooh, I ran myself into a dead end here. Toast frog babies, how fun, what a cool concept. Thank you. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun for me. It helps me maintain my creative writing and it is fairly entertaining from the regulars that show up. I don't know if anybody wants to, if they've had a favorite or anything that shows up that they wanted to talk about, or that's one that we don't need to know the answer of, Donald. Thanks for the question. You can think about that one for 60 seconds, my friend. Boop. Hey, Patrick, good to see you. I'll stick around and see if I can add a decent prompt or enjoy some poetry. No worries. Are you a teacher or doing this for fun? So I actually use poetry as a form of like self-therapy. I've used creative writing and poetry specifically in my pursuit of sobriety. And I think that poetry is a useful tool that can be utilized by anybody, really, that it gives a different shape to very difficult emotions. And I think that anybody who chooses to use it can benefit from it. So I'm sharing my sobriety journey and my writing and the book that I've written and just my overall experience with it in the hopes that it will maybe be discovered by someone that can make use of it. Show shuffle. Like I'm not a teacher in the traditional sense, but yeah, I do think that the process can help And I think that teaching anybody about my process and my experience, if that's the right word for it, will be helpful. And yeah, in that sense. Yes, your posts and poems have gotten me through a lot of dark times. I'll always be thankful for finding your channel. I appreciate you, Ange. Thank you. I don't know what that means, fried, but nope. That's how I ran into you on YouTube Shorts, your day sober. Yeah. That's what really started my content, or not my content, but my channel being discovered. Like I've been posting my poetry on YouTube. I posted 2 poetry videos like a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, and they've just kind of sat there. I didn't do much with them. And I realized, like, I remembered I had the YouTube channel. I was doing it on TikTok, the same sober days thing, and like I hate TikTok. It's just not for me. Like the app itself just drives me insane, but I'm a pretty consistent YouTube user. So I started posting on my YouTube channel again, and it's helped with my accountability, it helped with my consistency, and it became a very cool thing for me. So I've kept doing it because it helps. Okay, and that's time 35:37. The only request for this one was a silly rhyming poem for Cody. So we did 11 minutes and 37 seconds, so just over 11 and a half minutes on this one. Wise man once said hit record. That was Think Media, but yes, that's where I heard it. You gotta just press record. All right, silly rhymes was the prompt, and I wrote it in 11 and a half minutes, give or take a few seconds. I hope to leave you flabbergasted, wondering how long I've lasted. Hopefully the end won't be too drastic, doing my best to make this fantastic. Arms like a typewriter, moving like elastic, reading it back with a cracking voice, ecstatic. Maybe the conclusion will leave us half-masted, for the death of a poet is always tragic, but now the smiles shine wide like plastic, painted into place a scene of pure magic, taking us to a paradise kiln-fired ceramic, to dance away today in dreams of a world close to perfect. Perfect in ceramic is a reach, but I ran out of ceramic rhymes, so that's the best I can do for with where I started. If I had planned a little better, I wouldn't have had to do that, but I liked the ending and I liked how we got there. So, thank you for that prompt. That one was a lot of fun. Let's see. Is that Fix PHX? Hello, how's your night going? Show Shuffle said, that's awesome. I'm happy to be a part of this. It's really interesting, and I would love to see more of this. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. That was almost like a rap. Yeah, it could have been. Made me smile. 999. Yeah, gotta just keep speaking. Get the words out. That was all the prompts that I have written down. Yeah, I appreciate you, Cody. If anybody has come up with a prompt, or if I've missed one in chat, I'm afraid to scroll up because my connection is pretty crappy. So if I miss chat and I scroll up, sometimes it makes me have reconnection issues. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. You'll have to fill me in on context for Preston Garvey. I recognize that name, but I don't remember where from or why. Why does that sound familiar? I'm really displaying my own ignorance. Sounds familiar. Okay, it's letting me scroll. Let me see if I missed anybody. Oh, I missed saying hi to you, Victoria. I'm sorry. Hopefully you're still here. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's why that sounds familiar. Never mind. I can do a Minuteman poem. Holy crap, that's embarrassing. That annoying side-hatted dude. All right. I'm with you. I got you. I'm with you. Yeah. I hope that translated before your answer, because I just read your second chat. Yeah. Hey Trey, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, hi Marissa. I don't usually stream on Wednesdays, but I did not go home today, so I'm here again in the camper. Preston Garvey. We'll have to add this to the Fallout poems. This one was for show shuffle. Okay. All right, let's start this one at 40 minutes and 10 seconds. Good to see you, Trey. I'm glad I decided to stream again too. I have an empty prompt list now. I'm working on my most recent prompt that I was just given. So if there's any prompts that pop up in chat, I'll try to get them written down on my list. Late nights and early mornings, the life of a field service mechanic. All right, Trey. Late and early. I'll put field service mechanic. By the time I get all of these put into a book, I'll have little chapters. I'll have all the mechanic-themed poems for Trey, the off-the-wall ones for Solus Druid, the goofy, creative ones for Cody. We'll have all the ones for like cats for Ange. There's going to be a bunch. It'll be good. Patrick Liston says, prompt, it just keeps snowing. Boy, I feel that one. Patrick L. And then we've got one from Trevor I saw. Being far away from home. 187 miles is a ways. Yeah. It's actually the very first poem I ever posted on my YouTube channel. I think it's the very first video on here. It's called Follow Your Heart. And I remember making it when I got to like 100 or something like Facebook followers. I made a YouTube video to do my reading. And I'm pretty sure that's the poem that starts off with the first sentence is, I write a lot about being away and alone. That's the first line, I'm pretty sure, of the problem with writing so many poems is I forget them. I have to go back, and even for me to like recite them live or to do like a reading performance, I have to read my own poems a bunch. I don't have a very good memory when it comes to remembering the whole thing. I'll remember tidbits or like the ending or the beginning. Ooh, hopefully that train's not too loud. But I've got being away and alone. Being away from home for Trevor, and it just keeps snowing for Patrick L. And then late nights, early mornings, field service mechanic life for Trey. That's going to be the next one. And we're working on Preston Garvey for Show Shuffle. If the train gets too loud, feel free to post like a train or some kind of an emoji in chat, and I can close my window. I don't know how long they're going to be working in the yard here, but they should be moving through pretty quick. That's time 49:07. So just shy of 9 minutes for this one. So 8 minutes, 53 seconds. Gotcha. Yeah, the video I'm talking about, Trevor, it's in my long form content, and it would be like the first 2 videos on the channel. They've got like a poetry graphic for the thumbnail. I haven't touched them. They should still be listed. I haven't. They're really bad. I made them in Canva. Like I did the whole video in Canva and did the audio recording with my phone, and they're not good, but I think I had a real microphone for one of them, but I was like sitting on the bed of my camper with my microphone like screwed into the ceiling, and yeah, it was a shit show. But yeah, some of the train cars that come up that have spent time in the States have some amazing graffiti on them. Like there was a whole Mandalorian scene on one of our pipe cars that came up a few years ago. Okay. Preston Garvey for Show Shuffle. I spent 8 minutes and 57 seconds on this poem. I see you, a sentinel of the commoners, watching over those who are weak and scared, winding up a musket to face the fears of raiders, scabbers, and radiated bears. I can't leave you hopeless now, cornered with nowhere to go. I can help you make a sanctuary out of this town. I have to believe you'll make it, even if we don't know. Take these supplies and make them last. I got your last transmission. I'll do my best to raise the caps to fund the Minuteman mission. I like that one. I like how that came out. Prompt: illegal art. For Toast Frog Babies. I love your username. We have another one. Prompt from Trevor: maybe the return home. Trevor. Okay, we just did the Preston Garvey poem. That one sounded like the intro to a post-apocalyptic video game intro. Yeah, I think that's a good way to summarize up like the Fallout franchise as an aesthetic. Like, yeah, thank you, Patrick. I like that's a very big compliment to me. Maybe it'll be the spin-off for the Minuteman standalone game. All right. Late nights, early mornings. Late nights and early mornings. The life of a field service mechanic. This is for Trey. Thank you, Show Shuffle. I appreciate that. The Fallout poem book is going to be awesome. Just think of how big of an audience you can get, especially to get them to read again. Yeah. I'll have to separate all the Fallout ones out and put them in their own thing, and then I can work on the vault poems as we go. All right, this one, let's start 50, we'll call it 54 minutes, straight up. 0, 0. I'm 27 and I just got into the first two Fallouts. The first two Fallout, it's amazing. Like Fallout 1 and 2, like the top-down strategy games, Show Shuffle, or are we talking like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas era? Very cool. Those are some of the most like iconic games for me. I remember watching my older brother play those when I was a kid, and I was always so excited to play them. And they are unforgiving. those top down games are they don't do video games like that anymore, in my opinion. Turn them into a Fallout comic. Man, if I could draw better than this is a dog, right? We're gonna no, it's June 20th, is when Solus's performance is. He might be drumming, but his big performance is June 20th. It's in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. We know this is a dog because it says dog food. This is a dog. If you've met my dog, this is a dog. He looks exactly like this. Look at the cake. Look at the cake this dog has. And look at how he's staring at that dog food. That's a dog. It's an absolute dog. So Shovel, Fallout 3 was my first intro to the series, then New Vegas and so on. Never played 76, decided to go to the start after that. I never played 76 either because it's just Fallout 4 with a multiplayer mod installed. It has the same reloading glitches in some of the guns. Like it's the exact same code as Fallout 4 that it could have been a mod. It could have been a downloadable content for Fallout 4. At least when it first came out, that was true. I haven't kept up with the series at all. I started playing Fallout 4 again at home, and then I have a New Vegas playthrough on my Xbox in my camper that I'm playing through right now. But I usually play through New Vegas like once or twice a year. I'm not writing a book. Although art, speaking of art, my first order of stickers is ordered and they are on their way. Well, they're being made, but we got the Let Him Cook sticker and the Sober Poet Society sticker are paid for and being created, and they will be mailed to me, and I'll have those to be on offer at some point in the future. Toast Strong Babies, I don't like to play video games, but love to watch. The graphics are totally movie quality at this point. Yeah, it's insane to see where they're at right now. Need more Dead Tyrants. Stream purpose topic. Did anybody answer already? No. So I take prompts from chat and I do short poetry writings of them, and then we do a read back and see where things landed and stop to chat and just kind of talk along the way. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. I appreciate the thumbs up. Yeah, this is the most iconic part of my channel. It's so far from the beginning. New Vegas is and always will be amazing. The best in my opinion, but I have yet to play through the beginning. I never made it through those games all the way. I think I got most of the way through Fallout 1, and then I made it like less than halfway through Fallout 2. And I don't actually remember the situation. I might have lost that computer, or that computer might have busted on me. I don't remember, but I've never finished 1 and 2, but I have played them. Okay, Trey, that's time. 65 minutes. We spent 11 minutes on this one. Let's see. Show Shovel says, may I also ask what you are sober from? I'm sorry, I don't know if this is appropriate. No, that's totally fine. My daily check-ins that I'm doing, I am specifically referencing alcohol, but I've been drug-free since 2018. Before that, I was drug-free 2016, and then had a relapse the night of my DUI in 2018. So I used to be addicted to stims and speed of most varieties, over the counter and the not so over the counter kind, coke, meth. I hated that, but mostly coke, Adderall, Ritalin. Alcohol has by far been the hardest thing for me to walk away from. So, yeah, alcohol is the thing that I have struggled with the most. I've tried to quit many times. But my drug of choice was anything that was a stimulant. So, and now the closest I let that get is these guys, these suckers right here. But, yeah, the focus on my content that I make now is for alcohol, specifically Show Shuffle. That's been the thing that I've struggled with the most. SPA for life. Yeah, no, and I'm totally okay answering those kinds of questions. That's part of my goal with creating the content that I make, is to get rid of the taboo feeling that people have about talking about sobriety and their approach to it. So I'm very open, and I will very openly talk about my experience and my struggle in the past and even recently. Like, I'm trying to focus on the positive aspect of it, and where I'm at now is definitely, it's I've had people come on the channel, and I've had comments recently that are like, I don't know how to interpret them. It's like, quit rubbing it in, like, you don't look like you've ever had a problem. And it's that kind of stuff, that kind of like dragging each other down, is the stuff that it kills my mental. It's like, why would anybody choose to approach and say that to somebody? I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but yeah, I'm very open to talk about sobriety and my own journey and all that stuff. So ask any questions that you'd like. Absolutely. Late nights and early mornings, the life of a field service mechanic, for Trey. I wrote this one in 11 minutes. Dark finds my doorstep long before my boots, and is still lingering when I leave again. Grease saturated from my hat to my roots. That orange glow does a lot, but this feels permanent. I know my coffee's stronger than that axle seal, just like I know you're happy to see me. I can tell you the socket size purely by feel. I still wish you'd broken down closer to a shade tree. Dawn greets me at my back as the sunsets wave goodbye like a prick. A hero to some, I'm certainly glad you walk the path of a service mechanic. Yeah. I'm happy for your sobriety, brother. You've got this. Just let me get where I want to be. I'm sure this poetry is amazing for me. Thank you, Show Shovel. That's awesome. Like, that's really cool. The hurting like to hurt. I run into old friends and they say how lucky I am. It's been hard work daily. Yeah. It's very easy to see the result and be like, wow, you're so lucky. It's like, man, it takes effort. Like, it doesn't just fucking happen. And yeah, I don't know. I get a little, I try very hard to approach it with positivity, and I do my best to do that. And if I can't find a polite way to talk to somebody, I will just refrain from speaking, or I will just not answer, or I'll even say, "Hey, I need time to process and think about what I'm trying to say to you in a way that maybe you'll understand." But thanks, Trey. I'm glad you like it. Because of John, I took the steps and called the 1-800 number to quit smoking. It's been 8 days. I had a stroke, and the stroke rewired my brain and caused me to start smoking like a house on fire. Yeah, it was right on point. Seriously, you're so good. I appreciate that, Trey. Thank you. Yeah, I don't feel lucky. Yeah, it's, yeah. You have a very, that was a good expression, the hurting like to hurt. And I don't necessarily think it's intentional that that happens, but it's what addiction and it's what substance abuse does to your mental. It makes you think that it's the only thing that is there for you. It's very, very good at it. Like any kind of battle with substance abuse is trying to make you feel isolated, in my experience. And it took me a long time to even be okay talking about it. Like, I went through a phase, not really a phase. I would get off work at 5 and be blackout shithoused by 6. And I did that for 4 years, like straight. I don't remember years of my life. I remember kind of like events and stuff, but it's a blur, man. Like I was I was on stims, and then I would get off work and I would just get shithouse drunk, and that was it. That was my Monday through Friday, and then the weekends were just no holds barred. Yeah. It just, yeah, it sucks. Not become comparative, because I'm never trying to be comparative with my journey. I'm saying stims, like stimulants, not stems. Sorry, it's probably my pronunciation of it, but yeah, stimulants. Um, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna move on to the next prompt. It just keeps snowing for Patrick. And then we'll start this one at, we'll call it 7320. On to the next beverage. Let's see. Deadlifter 79. It's 9 the sign, but not mine. Soon will in time. When the clock chimes, minds grind. Fluctuations of crines. Okay. That's a very unique expression of words. Deadlifter 79. Toast frog babies. I hate the cold. I wish it could snow at 70. No. No, no, no. You just have your 70 and no snow. No, 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 no. We get precious few months with no snow, and they are exactly that. They are precious, and we cherish them. If it snowed at 65 or 70 degrees, I would be a different human being. Toast frog babies. like marshmallow fluff, not cold. It still obscures your vision. It still is, when it's that light and fluffy, it's even harder to drive in because every car in front of you blows up a cloud of it and you can't see. It's like you're driving and this is your visual. It's no thank you. I like, in the wintertime, my ideal winter temperatures are like 20 below and no snow. That's ideal. Like, give me that dry cold with no wind. It's probably just as tough as people's perception. The first time I went to prison was for delivery of controlled substance. The second was for a felon in possession of a firearm. Yeah, that's, people's perception will have a lot to do with how they interact with you. I mean, it's how they'll base an entire narrative about you as a person without ever speaking to you, just because they know or assume something about you. Yeah, hundreds of tires turn snowfall into ice. Yep. Let's see. Bending, not breaking. Cody, is the ghost of tadpoles past a prompt? I'm sorry. What the hell is that? The ghost of tadpoles past. That sounds like a Christmas play on Ghost of Christmas Past. Let's see. The ghost of tadpoles past. And then we have prompt bending, not breaking. That was for Show Shuffle. Just keep snowing. We're working on that one now. Ah, I see. Okay. I am miserable in the cold, but I do love how the snow looks. Yeah. It's very pretty. It's one of the perks of living up here. Snap, crackle, pop. We have more watermelon. Oh, that's gross. I cannot stand that flavor. I cannot wait for those to be gone. Whew. I'm a sucker for a deal. I'll buy things that I don't like because they're cheaper than the things that I do like if I'm going to be going through a bunch of them. Like the LaCroix, the LaCroix value packs from Costco. They're like $8 for 24 of them. You can't beat that with any other seltzer. So I will get them. I like the hibiscus and I like the lime. I like a bunch of them, but I don't like the limoncello or the watermelon ones. Limoncello is not bad, but the watermelon ones are absolutely like the worst. These are terrible. Oh God. Ugh. But I don't like watermelon just in general, so that's my fault. Like the LaCroix probably tastes good if you like watermelon. Ugh. I like how it looks on TV. If it snows more than 14 days a year. If it snows more than 14 days a year where I live, I am moving. Oh man. uh our snow just melted like last month. I just got to start cleaning my backyard up like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, where we had all the snow finally out of it. It snows like almost 6 months. Like, it's still snowing. It was snowing last month a couple of times. Have you tried watermelon and tagine? No, but I do like tagine on my corn on the cob, so that, I mean, I like tagine, so maybe I could try that. I don't like watermelon. I can taste it from here. LaCroix for me is disgusting. Yeah. Well, I mean, is it just seltzer waters or is it LaCroix specifically, Show Shuffle? Because I also have Spindrift, and I also drink Aha. There's all kinds of different seltzer waters that I drink, but LaCroix are by far the most budget option. And when I first quit drinking, I replaced all the beer that I had around me with seltzer waters, so I could still have the can crack, because that was part of my muscle memory. I'd get off work and then crack a beer like when I got home. So I replaced all the beer in my house with these seltzer waters, and I would still crack the can and I still had the bubbles, and it was most of the experience. It was enough of the experience to kind of trick my body into weaning myself off of wanting it. I can appreciate the endurance. Thank you. Thank you, frog babies. Oh, excuse me. I stole your idea for seltzer water. It helped me big time. That's awesome. That's good. Seltzer water is good, but I've never tasted good LaCroix. See, I was never a beer guy. It was always been liquor for me. So my vice for booze, beer was always a supplement. I drank beer every day, work days, every day after work. I'd have beer. When I was home, I was a Kirkland gin, Kirkland whiskey guy, and I would go through like 2 175s like in a weekend. Like, I'd go through a 175 pretty consistently every day when I was home, not working. Like, yeah. But beer was just like this constant to get to where you're at, and it was just I don't know the word for it, like a supplement, but still part of the overall thing. And the seltzer waters really helped curve that. I also brewed like hot tea. I had this Tazo spicy tea that I brewed a triple batch of. I put 3 tea bags into my teapot and brewed it. I hate this tea. This tea is nasty. It was given to me as a gift and it's gross. I don't like it. But if you double brew it or triple brew it, it has the same like tone or color as whiskey. And I actually backfilled that into one of my Kirkland bottles. So it was like I had a bottle of whiskey sitting on the counter. And when I wanted to make myself a drink, like a whiskey Coke or whatever, I would make it, but with that brewed nasty crap tea. And I'd still have a Coke and I'd still make it. And I would just tell myself this is what I wanted. And it turned into like my own little aversion therapy, I suppose, because it was nasty. I was like, no, this is what this is. And I did that for, I think two bottles was enough for me to not want to do that anymore. And then my friends are actually not my friends. My partner's mom gifted me a set of non-alcoholic mixers so I could still like make cocktails and stuff, but they were just not alcoholic. And those were mostly okay. Some of them were just gross. It's like this is perfume. This is perfume that I'm supposed to ingest. Like this is nasty. But they did help, and they did provide a thing to do that was like muscle memory. Like I like to mix drinks. I have the tumblers, I have the shot glasses, I have the sake set, I have all the stuff you could do. So having a non-alcoholic alternative for it and still being able to kind of do it and let myself wean off of the activity naturally, because it just wasn't, I wasn't doing it for that. You've gotten to a point where you're telling people how you did it. That's amazing. Hell yeah, man. Then you kick it hard on poetry. Done. I appreciate you, Does Frog Baby. Thank you. I didn't really think of it like that. I haven't really thought of it like that before. But yeah, it's very humbling. Thank you. I can always tell when I've started talking too much, my timer will creep up on me and I'll start spending 15, 20, 25 minutes on a poem because I've just been chatting. It's like, we're not here to talk. We're here to read the poems, do the poetry man. I know that's not true. I appreciate all of you that are just here hanging out or lurking. That's time. 88:55. Chat is good too. Also talking is good. I appreciate it. Newcomer here. Yeah. No, I appreciate you being engaged and contributing and giving the prompts. Show Shuffle. It's been very nice to talk with you. And I mean that wholeheartedly. We always appreciate your time. I appreciate your time, Jill. Thank you for spending your evenings with me. I know it can't be the most exciting thing in the world, but it's pretty cool. Okay, this one, 15 minutes and 20 seconds on this one, and this is It Just Keeps Snowing for Patrick. I was told the end was near, if I stayed on this path, bated breath fogging up the mere, a blizzard bearing down with winter's wrath. I've shoveled and scooped the drive, screamed at the clouds in anger's tone, wondered if the flakes were alive, it sounded like laughter as it snowed. I want for the green, for summer sun, for these dark clouds to stop rolling. I'm starting to wonder if my mind is done as the blankets of white just keep snowing. Hey, to goat, good to see you, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you have nothing to apologize for. Happy that you're here. Name another room we could walk in, discuss sobriety, and also hear poetry. Pretty fucking cool. Thank you, and I appreciate that. That was worth the wait. Thank you. Now we're on to being far from home for Trevor. I'm still here, bro. Well, I'm glad you're still here. I appreciate you being here. I'm happy that or coming home. I've got that one down too. Do we want to do that as just one poem, Trevor? Or do we want to do it as two different standalones? I could do it as one poem and maybe do it as two stanzas and two stanzas and just do a 4-stanza, where the first two can be like being away from home and then returning home, or we can do it as two standalone pieces. Up to you. I'm open to either one. I have them written down as two separate. I now know about the horrors of snow. Yeah, I work outdoors in the snow for a lot of the year, and it sucks. It sucks a lot. I hate it. You're the artist. I'm just here to enjoy. Okay, I appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of poetry. Didn't think I'd find it here. Who else is happy about the surprise? If you're a huge fan of poetry, shameless plug, there's a Discord server for my channel, for my community. It's called the Sober Poet Society, and the link is on my channel page. We have poetry workshops. There's merch links, not links, but like information about it. There's a bunch of different chat rooms, places to talk. Like, it's growing, it's getting some traction, and there's a very cool group of people that hang out in there, and it's a way that you can do these kind of poetry requests kind of whenever you want, if that is something that interests you, or if you want to do writing of your own, or just have a one-on-one conversation. That's the best place to do it. Very nice poem. I can sense the underlying sobriety notes, if that's what was intended. Yeah, that's a pretty good pickup, Patrick. The beginning. I was told the end was near if I stayed on this path. Yeah. I shoveled and scooped, screamed at the clouds. Yeah. We just found out Toast is a juggalo. How did we find that out? What are we doing? What happened? I'm a huge fan of poetry. That's okay. You can be a fan of poetry. I'll join tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do my best to be active on there, and I do check it every day. Work has been kicking my teeth in, so I haven't been very active on my YouTube comments. I need to get caught up on my comments probably tonight after stream. I read every YouTube comment, and I do my best to reply to them, even if it's just an emoji. Okay, being far from home for Trevor. Oh, because I said whoop whoop. Okay, I get you. I see. I understand. I missed it the first go around. 9430. I found a new thing I will use the word I hate about these pens. They rattle. So even when I'm writing on the paper, it like clicks inside. The audio stem of it is like driving me insane. But, which reminds me, it's time. We haven't done the pencil stream tonight, but it's time for some ASMR. So just sit back, relax. If you've got headphones in, hopefully this isn't too crazy, but refresh. Does it help that I'm looking up while I'm making this sound? Does it give you a position of power while you listen to the grinding? Look at that point. There we go. It's the good stuff. Let's see. Can you sharpen the pencil? I did. I was a little bit. Great minds think alike, and so do ours. I'm kidding. No, that's that's a good one. Sharpie ballpoint, not felt, not fine, ballpoint. So I'm a big fan of the Sharpie S gels. I like those a lot, and it's what I use most of the time. And I left mine at home, and then this one that I have is just a Pilot X, like the big one. Headphones is not bad. Not my thing, but word. Okay, fair enough. I like the S gels are my favorite pens to write with. The pencil ASMR is a request thing that comes up on stream every once in a while. Show Shuffle. The same thing Texans did when it froze. Can you imagine what people would do if it snowed in Central California? I imagine there would be an influx of car accidents in the first 24 hours that would shut down most major roadways. That happens in Alaska every time it snows, like for the first time of winter. There's usually an influx of anywhere from 40 to 120 car accidents outside of the major artery roads leading to or from the military bases in Anchorage and Fairbanks. So people that don't drive in snow and haven't driven in snow before, like, and that's not to, I'm not trying to say that's targeted. Like, there's people going out there that are civilians that live in town as well, but people that have never driven in snow and try to treat it like it's just a regular wet road, it doesn't work like that. Like, it's a completely different experience, and without doing it, it's very hard to explain to somebody what you need to do. The same thing Texans did when it froze, shut down for weeks. Yeah, if your infrastructure is not designed to handle that, like civilization stops. You don't have the infrastructure. But it's like, I go to work, we don't have a temperature cutoff, so I'm fighting hydraulics and electrical systems and trying to get things to work at like 40 or 50 below sometimes in the middle of winter, and we have the tools for it. Like, there are ways to make things work, but it's not fun or easy. I like the G2 pens. Yeah, Pilot G2s are a very good, tried and true. Actually, yeah, one of those. The old trusty, old reliable. I just remembered that was over there. Oh, ouch. Okay, sorry. I'm terrified of driving in snow, native Californian. Where are you? I work outside of Denali National Park. I'm in the middle of Alaska. I live in Fairbanks and work outside of Denali. So we usually get a couple of weeks a winter where it's it can be 40, 50 below. And then if it's windy, it's even worse. But this last winter, we had one stretch where it was colder than 35 below for 3 straight weeks. Oh yeah, in Duluth. I've seen some of the footage of like Seattle and stuff when they have those freak ice storms. You've been writing for a while. Are your hands okay? My hands are good. Writing is good. I'm choosing to write with a pen versus the pencil today, but no, my knuckles and stuff are bothering me because I was working on my roof over the weekend and I spent a lot of time pushing my hands down into shingles and like asphalt and tar paper, so my hands are very sore. But I do a lot of writing. This notebook is fairly new, but we filled up one just like this in over the last few streams. But I'll usually write anywhere from, depending on the prompts, like 6 to 15 poems in a stream. Let's see. Oh my Jesus, I'd love to see the wilderness, and I've flown over going to Japan, but I'd have a hard time with the daylight difference. I'd love to fish there and see the wildlife. I'd be in awe. Yeah, it's a very neat experience for people that aren't exposed to it all the time. I grew up here and I'm still in awe of our natural like landscape and everything. Take a lot of it for granted, but still there are moments where it's just awesome. There's no other word for it. Seattle is my area. We don't get much snow. Lots of rain. I love rain. Have you thought about using a pen? My old teacher used to say it was easier on the hands. Yep, that's what I'm using right now. One of these big, thick. I just bought this pack of pens today. These Bic Glides. That's what I've been complaining about. I don't like them. But I usually write with a pen. And then I use a pencil when we're trying to change things up. But I try to keep some variety pack of writing. Oh no, you're good. You have nothing to apologize for. Nothing at all. But that's also why I like to use gel pens, show shovels, because they glide very easy. Humble evening, hope all is well, and that pollen attack is clearing out. It is. I feel a lot better today. I was able to kind of get my sinuses cleared out. I've been able to breathe. It's been very nice today for a lot of today. snowstorm where I am. Holy cow. This time of year? That would be unfortunate, Ange. I know we've got the thunder clouds are rolling in. It's all gray over the top of me. It's probably going to rain at some point tonight. That's time 1:08:06. Okay, this one is just shy of 14 minutes. Unfortunate indeed. I felt that pollen attack. Didn't know if it was the little ants invading my apartment or the air that was causing my itching. Yeah, yesterday I was a miserable boy. I sounded like there was a frog in my face most of the day. They call us the big land and we have 2 seasons, winter and winter. We almost have that much winter. We have winter and construction, but that's it. Okay, this is Being Far Away from Home for Trevor. I wrote it in just under 14 minutes. Just for clarity and context, this is not entirely about me. It's just kind of pulling at something that I know a lot of families and specifically men that I've worked with have experienced and kind of talked about, and it's not something that gets talked about a lot. So it's not about me specifically, but it comes from experiences of the people that I work with and some of the people that I've interacted with while working in remote locations. I wish life waited for me, but the choice was mine to make. To build the future I want, I need money. I agreed to give away my time without realizing what it would take. First steps I'll never get to be there for. They don't thump the same on video. Emojis can only do so much to show how I adore watching my little family grow. This career has given me stability, the feeling of safe, and made me realize with hindsight's clarity, I've traded away my ability to share my space. Sorry, to share our space. Yeah. Thank you for that prompt, Trevor. It hits me in the feels, I know that. There's a lot of stuff you miss out on being away from home. Thank you, Ange. Sorry I made you tear up. And then we've got illegal art for toast frog babies. That right there reminds me of every fellow miner I know. Yeah, when used to work on the North Slope, and I would work with guys that would spend 6 weeks away from home with very little contact. I was just up there on a contract gig, so I would work for like 45 days and then I'd get to be home. It was a once a year gig that I had that I would take time off of whatever job I had at the time and I'd go work up there. And you'd see guys that they work 6 on, 2 off, like 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So they're home for, I don't know, half of every third month. And it's really hard on a home life. It's very hard on, you have the financial ability and the ability to provide for this family, but you're not there. And it sucks. Do you have your own family? That was beautiful. I have a partner and I have 4 dogs. I do not have any children of my own, but it is something that I keenly feel when it comes to home life and relationship life. And not being home makes it very hard to balance and maintain, and you have to make the most of the time that you're there. So, like, it's something that I struggle with a lot in the wintertime when it's dark all the time. And I get to go home. I'm home on the weekends in the winter. I don't, dogs are family. That's true. They are. Dogs are family. But in the wintertime, I don't make the drive back on Wednesdays. So, because it's way is pretty bad. So I only make the drive when I have to. So during the winter, when I'm at like my mental lowest, I'm here more than in the summertime. So it's just kind of a compounding thing. But yeah, I spend a lot of time away from my family. Dogs are family, so are you are both factual. All right. Illegal art for toast frog babies. Let's start this one. We'll call it 114 straight up. Whew, that was loud. No kidding, I live right next to the train tracks and the graffiti train just passed. Amazing timing. That's cool. Except Jon Snow. He is a cat that is my soulmate, but I am not good enough for. It wouldn't really be any other way, would it, Ange? Not for Jon Snow. Is that Eastrid? I can't. I am not going to do the accent, but I used to do that a lot when I was watching Game of Thrones. Jon Snow. Driving in Alaska in the winter and in the summer of the permafrost is thawing, so you still need chains. Driving is a task year round. Yeah, if you get off any of the main roads, like you get into that mud, any of like the dirt roads, you are prone to need like a winch, chain, straps, something like that. It's not uncommon for guys to have like action packers with all that stuff in the back of their trucks. Most of the highways are are good. Like, what happens is in the wintertime, the frost humps will happen and the whole road will just have this giant like lump. So if you hit it at speed, yeah, there's a reason why speed bumps are supposed to slow you down, but if you don't know it's there. Okay, thanks for the context, Ange. Jesus. That's pretty funny. That's a good naming scheme. It's good to when they earn it, rather than you give it to them before. Liliana, hi, can I have a shout out, please? My name is Lily. Good to see you, Lily. I hope you're having a good evening or afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. We are missing Stony. I just thought of that. I haven't seen Stony in a hot second. I haven't seen him in the Discord either. I'll have to message him and see what's going on, if he's doing okay. I miss him too. I'll see you all next fall. That's a prompt. I'll see you next fall. That's for Patrick. Definitely missing Solus. Yeah, that's true. He commented on my video today about me being live today, so I think he knows. He might just be busy. Solus is nailing beavers to plywood. I don't know if all of you were here before, but I did get the stickers ordered, so I have the Let Him Cook stickers are ordered. They're going to be on the way. I ordered a bunch of them. So. That's time. 1, 2, 3. 55. Cool. So just shy of 10 minutes. Oh, there's the other crew. John, what is your 10-year plan? I'll have to... extrapolate on that a little bit, Patrick, and see if I'm answering it with the proper context. But I'll do this reading and then I'll come back to that question. This is Illegal Art, a prompt from Toast Frog Babies. And we've got just shy of 10 minutes into this, 9 minutes, 55 seconds. Some of the thrill comes with the fear. Was that a flashlight coming? Whether pulling cans from a backpack at a train's rear, or the back room tattoo gun humming. I don't care if it's on a napkin or stretched on the finest canvas. If art speaks to you within, credentials mean nothing less than experiences rendered in classrooms of peace. But art can blossom in sewers and rail yards, on windows, even notebooks covered in grease. An artist doesn't follow the law, an artist follows the heart. Yeah, I get a little choppy there in the last bit, but I do like how that came out. Thank you for the prompt, Toast Frog. I appreciate that. Okay, and that takes us to... oh, excuse me. Bending without breaking. For show shuffle. Best one yet, mate. I'm feeling the city vibe with this one. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm not going to put a start time on that yet. So Patrick, you said, what is my 10-year plan? As an overall, like, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years? What am I financially going to look like in 10 years? What is my channel going to look like in 10 years? Do you want the overall, or do you have a specific niche you'd like me to answer? Because I have what I would love my life to look like in 10 years, what I'm trying to work for and work towards and claw my way to, but I also have a realistic plan and assumption on what my life's going to look like in 10 years, but they're different things, so I would love some clarifying context. I'm going to stop and eat the dinner of a champion. I mean, for your current career and for what is your most desirable. Okay, so my job and my career plan. So I am pretty much maxed out on where I can get to in this company, unless I want to step into a management role, which I don't I do want to do, but it would require me relocating and moving to a place that I do not want to live. And I think that's the only way that I'll be able to advance beyond my current position. I've worked here long enough to be in the highest pay step of my position, so I'm compensated to the best of the company's ability for where I'm at right now, and it is a reasonable. It's I'm paid very well for what I do, and it's hard to step away from that because I've worked very hard to get to where I am within my career. So my plan is to keep doing what I'm doing for the next 5 years, and it is in my estimation that I'll have to relocate at that time for my parents, one or both, ideally for to be the caretaker or at least somebody there. I'm in the most fluid life position of any of my siblings to be able to do that. Like I can change departments and kind of what I do and still stay within the company. So I could always start over in a different department and still maintain like all of my time allotted into the company that I'm in. And it wouldn't just be like starting over from scratch. I'd still have all these years invested in the place, and I'd still keep my same retirement. It would just be starting over with like a different job. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. That's my realistic plans. Like in 5 years, I'll have to, if not sooner, I'll have to move and be available or at least around and get to spend, golden years of my parents' life with them. And specifically my mom. My parents are not still together, but my dad's not in the best health either. And I live closer to him now, so that's the fluid of the situation. If something comes up before that point, it'll be on that front. If things go poorly, it'll be on that side most likely. My dream, if what I could do, if I could do what I want to be doing, I would write. I would be a full-time writer. I would be able to churn out books and get them published and be self-employed. Like I wish that I could make a living doing poetry, doing creative writing, doing even stupid editing, like whatever. But if I could write and be able to support my life doing that and be able to spend the time at home and like build up my family life and build up my home life and be available for the people in my life that I've spent so much time away from, like that's the dream 10 years. Like I've got one little book published and I'm working on getting my second book published, and I'm trying to grind away at writing in the background of my after work hours. Like now, like I'm streaming and trying to build this channel with writing and make my name something that people recognize or a face that people recognize, in hopes that when I do write something, it's not gonna just sit on a shelf and be unknown and not recognized. But if I would do it. That's what I would really love to do. And for now, it's just a hobby. It's something that I enjoy doing, so I'm going to do it. And I think that it's one of the few hobbies that could become my job and I would still enjoy it. So my day job pays me well enough to do it, and yeah. There's no way you won't get there. Talent and consistency is there. I appreciate that, Marissa. Thank you very much. I'll be a pioneer in your journey. Thank you, Patrick. That means a lot. Like, seriously. Um, to get some variety into the prompts, I'm going to skip the returning home one, Trevor. I'll come back to it. I'm going to move on to bending without breaking for show shuffle. That'll keep us, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I hope so, Joe. Like, I invest, I save a unhealthy amount of my income right now. Like I almost, it's like 37% of what I make goes into my savings and my investment account, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't end up uh so my dad is on disability. He lives on less than 400 bucks a month. My mom's filed bankruptcy and worked until she was like 65, 60, well, not 65. She worked until she was like 67, 68 before she had enough like set aside to retire, and it was scraping like the whole time. While I was living at home, I worked to help with what I could help with because of the stress of financial stability. And I told myself when I started working like an actual job, like I'm never going to let my life look like that. And it's not about anything derogatory, or I'm not trying to drag my parents, but they say you learn what to do and what not to do by your parents, or by whoever taught you financial education. Wherever you learned that, you either learned what to do or what not to do. And I I save a disproportionate amount of my hourly wage just to be able to have some kind of mental security. It's like it's not much, but it's a lot for what I could be doing with my money, and it slows down my hobbies and stuff. Like I feel broke all the time, but I'm not, and I know that, and I'm stable, and it's just you got to put the time in, and it's hard for a lot of my generation to do. It's like, oh, you got a huge paycheck, go buy something, like go buy something shiny. No, I don't want something shiny, man. I want something that has roots that will continue to grow for me later on and keep doing that. So I don't know. It's hard to talk, like to just think about the finances and stuff of it, because like money sucks. I hate money, but I've kind of based my whole life around providing it for myself with consistency because I grew up without it. Sorry, I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Jon Snow is cuddled up tight, so I'm going to go to bed. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll chat soon. Have a good night, Ange. Thank you for hanging out. I work in the financial industry, and you're doing the right thing by saving and planning for retirement. You can then write and enjoy doing what you love. Spot on plan. That's the idea. I have my retirement through work, and then I have my pension, and I've got my independent account. It's just hard, like feeling broke all the time. But still wanting to do the things. And ISBNs are so expensive. Like if you publish a book, it is buy a pack. Don't buy just one. It's heinous. But Rise was lucky enough where I sold enough copies of Rise to pay for all the startup and all the ISBN stuff. But, okay, bending without breaking for show shuffle. Let's get this one going for 136.40. Bending without breaking. That's time. 1:42:18. Wow, that one went pretty quick, actually. That means we're, wow, less than 6 minutes on this one. 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Right, 22 or 22 away. No, so 5 minutes and 38 seconds. 5.5 minutes for this poem. That's insane. So 5.5 minutes, and this is the prompt: bending without breaking for show shuffle. Allowances can often leave us warped, giving with pockets empty, perspectives becoming morphed, watching what I allow of me. But I'll bend over backwards, touch my skull to the ground, fight on through all the harsh words, because I'm in this for a penny, I'm in this for a pound. Break me if you can. The world certainly tried. I've got no yield left inside these hands, and every dream come true for me has been one I supplied. Hey, Stony, we were just talking about you not that long ago. It's good to see you, good to see you. I hope you've been okay. How have things been for you? I really like this one, Show Shuffle. I don't know if you're still in chat, but I appreciate the prompt. Thank you for that one. Ah, there we go. Thank you. It's one that I feel inside. Every dream come true for me has been one that I supplied. That's never good. It was. It was very good. Chat was talking about what's missing. It was Stony and Solus Druid. Okay, now let's go to the return home. I'm glad that you liked it. I appreciate you. The return home, a prompt from Trevor. We'll start this one. We'll call it 1:45. We'll call it 30. And we'll start. Don't worry, I'm here now. Good. It's good to see you. See? We was missing you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Patrick, I have not read, let's see. The last one I read that was your prompt was "It Just Keeps Snowing." The next prompt I have from you is "I'll see you next fall." And that one is coming up after the one I'm working on right now. So that one is going to be the next poem that I work on. Mushroom hunting every day for the past week, pretty much all day. Found some cool fungi out there. Found my first deadly mushroom. That's very cool. Was going to come on a couple of days ago and I got busy, and my girlfriend spent the weekend, so I've been a busy man. Very cool, Stoney. I bet that quality time was very cool. Rachel Anderson, prompt. You can. Yeah, I've got a little list here. I've got one in front of you and the one I'm working on now, so it'll be probably about 20 to 30 minutes. I don't have a submission form or anything, so if you have a poetry prompt, you can just type it in chat. I would appreciate it if you tag them with like the word prompt or something in front of them so I pick up on it on chat. But yeah, if you just write prompt and then what you'd like it to be, I can add it to my list. And as I'm working through the list, I spend about 10 to 15 minutes per poem. A little bit quicker if I get focused and don't stop to chat. But yeah, no worries. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. I hope that it's a good time. Under the Shadows of Leaves. I like that one. There's a lot that we can do with that. Under the Shadows of Leaves for Rachel Anderson. Oop, spelled that wrong. Very cool, Stoney. That's time, 1:54:26. Let's see, so this is just shy of 9 minutes. This is the return home, a prompt from Trevor. This one is very much my influence on this one. The return home. Mileposts lose meaning when I know every bend and bump. I wish I could tell you I wasn't speeding, but that screaming? Oh, that's my fuel pump. 4 dogs against the window pane, eager tails and noses pressed to the glass. These fleeting moments alleviate the week's pain. I wish this feeling got to last. Your embrace, a yearning I anticipate, practically running out of my boots inside. Every Sunday I stay up too late, trying to procrastinate the work week's rising tide. I like that one. I like it a lot. I star it. Thank you for the prompt, Trevor. Hi, Aaron. BYG, my mom was recently sober. I see how. Yeah, alcohol definitely affects people. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. That was this one. That takes us to I'll see you next fall. You're welcome. Thank you for popping in. I hope that the sobriety journey that your mom is on is, I don't know, peace and path. It's not easy. It's definitely not an easy journey. So proud of her. I know I'm a stranger on the internet, but you can tell her that for me. I would appreciate it. Patrick L. Let's start this one at 1:57. That's awesome. 1 year is a huge milestone. That's absolutely amazing, Aaron. Very, very proud of her. I can wait. I have to wait because it's one day at a time, but I'm looking forward to being able to say that about myself. I'm looking forward to be there myself. Thank you for the inspiration and your kind words of encouragement. All right, 1:58:05. Rachel Anderson, I am 8 years sober from alcohol, nearly 3 years sober from weed, and I never really touched anything else. If only I could give up sugar. Yeah, sugar is definitely hard. When I quit drinking alcohol, that was one of the things that immediately spiked in my house was like soda, candy, like the things that you start craving because you get it from the alcohol at first. Yeah, my daily check-ins and stuff, I'm specifically referring to alcohol too. Alcohol's been the hardest thing for me to walk away from, Rachel, but I'm drug-free since 2018. And before that, before that event in 2018, it was 2016. I was 2 years drug-free before I relapsed, and then I had 1 day of relapse while I was drunk when I got my DUI. But I've been drug-free since 2018, and alcohol has been the hardest thing for me to walk away from, for sure. For a lot of different reasons, but accessibility, social acceptability, ease of access. I think alcohol is it might not be the most addictive substance, but it's definitely one of the hardest things. I don't have any proof. It's just my own experience. It's been the hardest thing for me to stay away from. I don't know much about truffles. I know they grow in most places, but I've never found any here. Only truffles I've ate were psychedelic truffles, and they weren't very good. Actually worse. Fair play to you. In Ireland, we have a saying, when the drink's in, the wit's out. It's easy to get carried away. 1 day at a time is all we can do. Yeah, that's definitely true. 1 day at a time is the only way it happens. I'll need context before I say random phrases. Steelers in top 14, but Show Shuffle. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I gotta make my leave. I'll be back. When is your usual time to stream? My usual streams are Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. EST. Wednesdays are intermittent. If I end up not going home, I try to turn on the stream like tonight, and they're usually a little bit longer. But Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 p.m. EST, I usually go live for 2 hours. There's a rough time slot, maybe a little longer. Thank you for stopping in. It's been a pleasure getting to talk to you, and thank you for your prompts. I've had a lot of fun writing the poems for you. if you were a nicotine addict, how did you kick it? I went 2 years and another time 20 days cold turkey, but with vapes and cheap cigs, it's hard. So I was a nicotine addict and I quit by buying a can of chew. I hate dip. My dad dipped when I was a kid, and I had a terrible experience with that as a child, or drinking the spit can. Uh, that was enough to make me not do that again. But then as a teenager, I was into some rebellious stages of my life, and I started dipping pouches. So I'd put a pouch in and then go to school. And I was getting out of my Jeep one day. It was slick, parking lot was icy, and I slipped. My heel slipped out, and I gulped, and I swallowed a pouch, and I puked for like the next 3 hours. So since then, combined with those two experiences with dip, if I smell a can of chew, like if it opens, I get sick. Like I get nauseous. It's just a body reaction to it. And when I was smoking cigarettes, I knew that my body wanted the nicotine. So I bought a can of chew knowing that opening it would make me sick. And I said, there's nicotine in there. That's what I want. Go get it. And I never did it. I still probably smoke. I still smoke like maybe 10 to 15 cigarettes a year. Like, I guess I haven't really this year. I smoked 1 cigarette since New Year's this year. When I was drinking, it was a lot more common because I just bum one when somebody I was talking to took a smoke break. But I used to smoke a lot, and I quit by buying a can of dip, which is, granted, not the best advice, and it might not work for everybody, but I'm a big fan of what works for me, being aversion therapy. Like, I know that can of dip has the nicotine that I want in it, and I know that if I open that, I will get sick, so it just, like, I don't do it. That's how I was able to do it. But your mom's very lucky to have you in her life, Aaron. That's a huge thing, just to have a supportive family member and like anyone there to be a support system. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Patrick, I don't know if it's going to be super practical or helpful, or if you don't have that reaction to dip, maybe it'll actually work against you, but I hate dip, so that was my solution to it. That, and I think that vapes just taste like electronic smoke, and I've never been a fan of that. Like, I bought one of those throwaway like menthol cigarettes, and they're nasty. I don't like it. It tastes like a battery. Jake says, keep up the sobriety, brother. Much love and always see your updates. God bless. Thank you for your kindness, Jake. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. That's time, 172:27. Peace out. Have a good one, Jake. Let's see. This is I Will See You Next Fall for Patrick. And I wrote this one in just shy of 14 minutes. Yeah, I do read them, Rachel. I'm just about to do a reading now. I just finished the one I was working on. I'm not sure exactly when you popped in, but yeah, I do read. I read the last one that I finished too. And after the one I'm on right now is when I'm going to be doing Under the Shadows of Leaves. Asked and answered. Appreciate it. This is I'll See You Next Fall for Patrick, and I wrote this one in just shy of 14 minutes. Sorry, just over 14 minutes. Translucent whispers, breath clouds, tickling my cheeks so rosy, when branches are bare away from crowds. Until then, you're out of sight, the warmth is too nosy. The first gray clouds of autumn's are. I'll be back right on this bench seat, tracing our initials, memories on trial, looking through them for love's flame heat. This anniversary always brings a smile, seeing you again as tears cloud up. I cannot see it all. I know you can only stay a while, but I know too, I will see you next fall. I took it a little bit literally, Patrick, but I like the visual aspect of like the elderly individual who has this tradition with their partner or their spouse, and they continue on with what they used to do, and it's their like way of hanging on. That's the direction that I took it with. So and that takes us to Under the Shadows of Leaves for Rachel. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. And let's start this one. We'll call it 175.30. That's great, brother. I feel your direction. I'm in the service, so I barely get to see my family and friends. I'm also married, so I'm sure the future will hold a similar feeling with my spouse. Yeah, being away from home, and man, I thank you for everything you do, Patrick. I don't know if it's cliche to thank you for your service, but thank you seriously for everything you do. And I hope that you get to spend time with your spouse in the future, make up for all the time that you spent away from home. Sam Sham, this is an art stream. It's a poetry stream. I take prompts from chat and I do short poems. Oh, sorry, I can actually tilt this a little bit. I don't know if that makes it easier, but it can be an art stream, but I'm not an artist. I do little index card drawings in between prompts, but yeah, it's a prompt stream. do little like 3 stanza poems and then read them back. Thank you, Aaron. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Say hi to your mom for me. Bye. That's the uppies angle. Oh no. All right, somebody said it. I have to do it. Uppies. Uppies. Oh man. I didn't know what that meant, but I get it now. Yeah, I don't usually have my tripod set up so big. I have a little ring light, so you're looking at me like more straight on and you can't see the notebook at all. But I left that at my home when I went home last week. So I'm making the best with my big exterior tripod. And it's not a very flattering angle for my body, but it is kind of cool getting to see the notebook, I feel like. It's definitely different, and I'm still getting used to it. I don't know, everybody in the last stream seemed to really like being able to like see the writing as it happened. When I did do that, it went over pretty well. What are you drinking? Is that bubbly? It's LaCroix. It's a hibiscus LaCroix right now. Camera angle's fine. You're a beautiful man. Oh man. Thanks, Sam. Body positivity is something that I struggle with. More so in my past than I do now. I'm fairly comfortable with where I am now, but I am yeah, it's something that I've struggled with a lot. So, thank you. I get really weird when people say that kind of stuff to me. So, it's nothing personal against you, and I do appreciate the kindness. It is something that's hard for me to process. So. Good night, Jill. Thank you for being here. I hope that you have a good rest of your night. Get some sleep. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Time 184:15. So we did this one in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Pretty good, less than 9 minutes. Morning comes quick would be a prompt. Yeah, it would be. That's a good one. Morning comes quick. Okay, this is Under the Shadows of Leaves for Rachel Anderson, and we wrote this one in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Trees keep secrets unlike any others, shepherds of rot, protectors of growth. Truly, forests are the world's mothers, silent shrouds doing the most. Protect me, willow and spruce, shield my spirit from the moon's light. I wish I could declare a truce between the mountain's day and the forest's night, because up on those peaks I'm exposed, free, vulnerable to the prying eyes of emotional thieves. Here in the woods under my favorite tree, I'm fully protected under the shadows of leaves. Another one I did very literally. I like that prompt a lot. It works with my writing process when the prompt is its own statement. So I really enjoy those kind of prompts. Allow me to see a page, gentle sir. Well, you can see it, David. Thank you for being here. Spoken like a true canine. Yeah. I can howl at my camera, I suppose. God damn. I like that one. That went over very well. Let's see. Morning comes quick. That was fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. Morning comes quick would be a great prompt. I didn't see any other ones, so I'll add morning comes quick. Patrick, how many in queue? My queue is currently empty. Morning comes quick is the current one right now, but I'm going to take a brief moment. I need to get rid of some of this LaCroix. Stranger danger. Okay, we'll take some bandwidth from the 90s. Was that the 80s? Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Patrick. Okay, so I'll do those, but I will be right back. It's a short walk to where I need to go to, but I'm going to mute my camera and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, and we're back after that short commercial break. Question for your return. Do you post the poems anywhere so they can be read? I post other poems that aren't these ones on my Ko-Fi page, or Coffee, however you want to say it. I also have a Facebook page that's BYG Poetry, but I haven't been very active on there. Whew. These ones, the intention of the prompt poems and the prompt stream is to publish these as a prompts of May. Like, so my streaming schedule and the amount of poems that I write in a given stream, in the course of a month, I'll fill one of these books up so I can put them together as a collection of poems. And I would like to get those put together, and then I can publish them and kind of add to my writing collection that way. And it gives this sense of community for the chat and the people that are involved, because I was going to put, my intention is to put the prompt, who I got the prompt from, and how long it took to write the poem. And rather than have like donations or things like that, just have that set up as anyone who wants to support my content, they can purchase one of the books. Do it that way. I don't know if that, I still need to do it. I've started to move the last notebooks poems into my laptop and like get everything to be digital, but it's a pretty arduous process. As far as these being reread, I don't currently have them posted anywhere else, but I do post written poems on my Ko-Fi page for free. There's a couple on there like twice a month that are exclusive for members, but that's just to give some incentive, because like I don't want people to just like waste money on that kind of stuff, but I want them to get something if they do. So, but if that is a thing, I also have this book that's published. This is my first like flagship publication book. It's a little poetry chat book, and its intended purpose is to help people that are battling with substance abuse or have loved ones that are battling with substance abuse kind of navigate that. I'm a weirdo for lyrics, so I always like to be able to know what's being said, if that makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah, and I would show my handwriting, but it's pretty chicken scratchy. Like, a lot of the times I know what I meant to write, but that's not what's written on the page. So when I start moving things over to my laptop, I'm like, what the hell? And I have to read it, and it's like, oh, okay, I meant to say this. Or I've gone back and watched me reading it on stream before. I'm like, ah, okay, that's because I'll scribble out a big chunk and then just write in this scribbly nonsense. So no, that makes perfect sense. Like wanting to know exactly what the words are and where they are and how they're used, like that makes perfect sense. I don't think that's very weird at all. I can start posting these, I suppose. I was trying to not flood my I don't know, maybe that's a good idea, I suppose, because there's no traction on my Ko-Fi page at all. Like I have 1 follower, 2 followers or something. And I'm still like trying to treat it like it's its own standalone thing. But yeah. I could. I should. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's see. It is. Whew, it's later than I thought it was. This is probably going to be my last prompt poem. I'll do one more. Let's do Morning Comes Quick. So I'm running kind of late. Not running late, but it is later than I usually stream, that's for sure. Morning comes quick, and I'm going to do a hyphen prompt this one. This is Rachel's prompt. And it was Jill saying goodnight. All right, then let's start this one. Call it 197:30. 197:30. Sweet, I made it for the last one. I went ahead and covered my colonized rice with some substrate to see if I can get a couple truffles to grow. That's a good thing to catch. I didn't actually know truffles were psilocybin strains. I only knew truffles to be gourmet or like food items. And that's time 2:03:43. 2:03:43. So this is just shy of 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 13 seconds. I tried Truffles in Amsterdam many years ago and it was very fun. This is the longest stream you've done. I think it is, yeah, 204 minutes and counting at the moment. I think I usually average, I think I've done a 4-hour stream before, or just shy of it. I'd have to go back and look. But this is up there. I think this is either the longest or we're pretty much tied with it. Something like that. They're not as strong as silicide cubes. They were stronger than I figured they'd be. Like 4.2 grams, just enough to make you smile. Yeah. All right. Morning comes quick, a prompt for Rachel as a feed off of Jill's goodnight message. 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Recharging anything takes time. Batteries, easier to change than souls. When burnout strikes, it's not a crime. To stoke your flame, you must tend the coals. Nights are ever looming over me. You should be resting, idiot. I just have one more thing, surely. I'll sleep better if I just get it. Out of water, a fish on the beach, dehydrated, gasping, morning's first breath. Goals of last night so out of reach. The night's gone by, taking my best. I'm sure mushrooms can be dangerous, but who's ever heard of someone strung out on mushrooms? I'm sure it happens, though. Yeah, I think that's a good one to end on. We're talking about out, we're talking about morning comes quick. Okay, sir. Well done. Sounds like my brain at 3 a.m. You should be resting, idiot. That was a good one, Sean. Yeah, I feel that a lot. But it's the perfect end. I appreciate all of you being here. I'm just going to do my little plug. If you've heard it before, feel free to hop off. If not, if you like my content, there's a Discord channel where we can talk directly. There's a poetry workshop. The links are in my channel page. I wrote a book. It's on Amazon. I have a Facebook page. There's a newsletter if you want to see some behind the scenes info on my life, info about my dogs, my personal life, nature pictures of Alaska, things like that. But the note, I've been trying to come up with a way to end all of my streams that I want to be just like something that I say, and I'm not trying to force it, but the ultimate goal of my content on here is using poetry as a tool, an emotional outlet to help process whatever's going on in your life. And doing it with prompts is a way for me to showcase that it's something that you can learn, it's something that's easy to do, and it's not necessarily easy, but it is something that can be done. Just like sobriety, and that journey is going to be different for everybody. But poetry is a tool that can be used for it. And I believe that wholeheartedly, and I want to share that with it. Wow, you're in Alaska. I am. Yeah, I work right outside of Denali National Park. My next live will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST. Looking forward to seeing you all there. If you haven't yet subscribed, followed, click the buttons, I'd appreciate it. But that's it for me. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Take care.